So the struggle is real. Oh, this struggle you better feel. Because to me, well, not just to me, but to the universe, to my angels, and to you gotta feel me. It's like my posts, my playlists are the path to salvation. I am the savior. I know it. It's like, I don't just say this to say it. It's not. That would be some weak game if some dude's like, "Oh, hey, I'm Jesus. I'm here to save you, girl. Let me get your number." That would be some weak game. And I never ever had to lie to get a girl's number ever. I deleted 5,000 of some of the most beautiful girls in the world's numbers for one pretty little girl that never appreciated a thing. So, anybody that thinks that I just say what I say just to get attention, you're stupid. I'm a genius. I got Steve Jobs on the phone at 13 and elevated the lives of every single person that could potentially watch this before you watched it. But then, just by watching and listening to me speak, I elevate your lives more. Because I am the Savior. And the more chances I give you to feel me, the more chances you have to feel me and to elevate mind, body, and soul. Because I know that I elevate humanity here within this next 2 years. Nobody else alive can say that without lying. I don't lie. I can look you square in the eye. I don't lie. I'm not here to mislead you. I'm not a Trumpkin. I didn't sign the no-hide laws. I'm against the no-hide laws. Trump signed the no-hide laws. Anybody that thinks he's a good guy, you're fucking stupid. Stupid. No. Father scolded me for calling you stupid. So we're going to say ignorant or ungrateful ingrates. So you need to elevate yourself from that status to consciously aware that you're an ungrateful ingrate and a slave. And the first step to not be a slave is to know that you're a slave and denounce that you're a slave. You must do that. You must be sovereign within self before you can be sovereign with God. Father, above, which I am here. I don't make this shit up. No, I did 44. Everything I post gets flagged because I tell the truth. I try not to swear, but I keep it real. I'm open, honest, forward. I don't lie. I'm rough around the edges. Cowboy, rogue, rustic, regal, royal. But anyway, I have, they say, ancient alien bloodlines. They say I'm supposed to be 14 feet tall. 14, 11 feet's like short for what I'm supposed to be. But they say it's the food that stunts our growth. And then that's when they asked me what horses eat, and then I broke down to them, which they already can read my mind, which they know most of my answers of most of the way I'm going to explain it, even though they like asking me certain questions because, sometimes my answers shock them. And just like the CIA lady, it's like baited questions, like they know what you're going to say, but then when you can catch them in the baited question, and know that they just baited you in the question, and it's like it's a whole different conversation. That's when it kind of gets more fun. But handful of the, moments with my angels, were very interesting, points of they would kind of ask me, questions, and even though that they would know pretty much what I would say, but they wanted to see, how I would explain it, or my answers, and it's kind of exciting, some of those. I'm trying to share as much as I can when I can, because I know that I got a lot of haters and that rich people want me dead.
and and I post things that will piss off a lot of rich people. So they have reasons, even though they're invalid or unjustified, to want me dead, but it's enough to give plenty of them motive to want me dead. So I am the only one that really, is open, honest, forward, righteous, that I consciously know I risk my life, 531, 33, to but I do what I can to raise conscious awareness. And I know that my playlists and my posts are the path to salvation. And that I know that pretty soon one of my posts goes viral and it changes the world very fast. Within 2 weeks, the whole world changes. Um, I'm trying to prepare you guys for that as much as I can. And for the aftermath of that, I'm just trying to lay the groundwork for what people need to learn once they realize who I am. But, judgment is real. I can't say when it is. I can say you have at least 2 years. I say everybody gets out of hell in 2,000 years from the day that I go within front of the grand jury or the Supreme Court. When we change more laws in one day than any day in history, that's like ground zero, day one. Then there's 2,000 days from there that pretty much everybody gets, all the ones that go to hell, which a lot of you will go to heaven that feel me. But then at judgment, many that don't feel me and that are evil, they go to hell. But I promise to let them all out of hell in 2,000 years. So hell has an out date, and they are very excited about that. That is one of the other things I've got in my corner, that hell's in my corner, other than the fact that they realized who I am when I slayed the worst two demons in the universe. And freed the universe of the worst evils that they have ever known. So that's when hell bowed to me and knew who I was. But then that's when I promised that they have an out date as well. So I've already had many thank yous from that department or that direction, as well as many thank yous from other star systems since then. So I can't make this shit up. I'm not here to lie to you. I don't give a shit if you believe me. It's not up to me to believe me. I don't need you to believe me. But you better believe me if you want to get into heaven. It's just as simple as that. I'm not here to lie to you. St. Michael Rogue One. 31, 33.